Hello, everyone. This is the Unsaid on Oman FM 90.4, and we are live. So today I am here with
Hayesha.
Hi everyone, I'm Sahar Salmanian.
and I am Sara Al Maawali, and we will be talking about fear today, what it is, why it happens, and how to work through it. So before we get into this juicy topic, let's go and listen to this song.
This is Oman FM. This is Oman FM.
And we are back. This is the Unsaid on Oman FM 90.4. And today we're talking about fear. I'm Sara Al Maawali, and I'm here with Hayesha and Sahar. And I wanted to ask you guys,
Yeah.
what do you guys know about fear? Like, what is fear to you guys?
I think fear actually affects all of us, right?
It does.
Even if we try and put on a brave face, there is always a fear there. But I feel like fear is healthy. We often look at fear sometimes as like a bad thing. But it can, I mean, it obviously can be scary as well. But I feel that there's also healthy fears, right? It can allow us to not, you know, do something silly, for example. Risky, exactly. Whereas the unhealthy fear, well, what can happen with that, Sahar?
the unhealthy fear can stop us from doing things that we want.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I feel like generally fear is a sense of uncertainty
It is, yeah.
about this moment, about future, and this question comes to our mind: what if? What next?
Yeah.
I guess we all go through that, right?
Exactly. It's
And
like,
if you guys go through that, like have all of these what ifs and have some fears as well, please call us. Please
we'd
do
love
call
to
us.
hear. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, call us on 24949493. I'll say it again, 24949493.
Do you know anyone who has no fears?
I don't think it's healthy to have no fears. I feel that people who have no fears are possibly narcissists. What do you think, guys?
Like for me, I think it's one of our basic survival mechanisms.
Exactly.
I feel like it's
We
something
need it.
we need
the
it
fears, a
to
healthy thing.
survive.
Exactly.
Like our ancestors needed it to
Protect
to
themselves.
protect
Yeah,
themselves,
protecting
to
mechanism.
get food. And I feel like now that, centuries later, we still have that alert in our system.
Yeah.
We still are constantly in that fear, even when we don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's interesting to me.
It is really interesting.
But it's also not great, I feel, when you say that if we get too much circling in our fear, because then therefore, where's the way out?
That's that constant activation.
Exactly. Constantly triggered, constantly activated, constantly in this sort of like fight or flight mode. Hesitation.
That stops you to go for new things, to try new things.
From achieving our goals,
And
from
it
actually
becomes
going forward.
like a kind of avoidance for you.
Exactly. Avoidance, distraction.
And it hinders us from our growth.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of, getting out of our comfort zone is by challenging ourselves, doing new things constantly. And when fear gets in the way, it really holds us back from so many things we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a normal thing, because when we were a kid, since we were a child, we had a lot of fears because we didn't know the world. We didn't know how the world was working. And the more we grew, we learned about our skills. We learned about the world and how we can protect ourselves.
True.
And then we could overcome our fears.
But I also feel it's also the opposite as well.
It could
Having
be.
2 kids, young kids, they have no fear. Like my little 2-year-old is going to be on the table, he'll just jump off.
So reckless.
It's reckless. And that is the beauty of childhood, I feel. And I feel in some way as adults, we kind of need to go back to our childhood, childlike wonder, where things are not so scary all the time. We view so many things as like scary, we don't want to take that extra step because we're afraid of what someone will think of us. We don't want to do that thing because we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of success. There's so many fears that we have that stops us from moving forward, right?
And I have a question. Do you guys think that most of our fears is just a projection?
Yes, I think so.
Because, you mentioned like you have 2 kids and like imagine your son is on the table and jumping. Who's the one saying, stop, don't jump,
Me,
don't fall?
not him. He's happy. I'm the one with the fear.
Yeah, so most of our fears are projections, and it's not even our fears.
Exactly.
And this is something I talk to my clients about, is that most of our fears is from society, from family, our upbringing.
Yes.
They're all learned. They're not even
They're
ours.
learned. Exactly, yeah.
When we were born, I believe that
It was
when
just
we
2
are
fears,
born,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, getting into this world.
Yeah.
But I also believe we are born pure love.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We did not have fear.
Didn't have any fears. Apparently we're born with just 2 fears, which is the fear of falling and loud noises. That's it. Everything else is learned. Everything. Which means that we can unlearn them. But we've built up this sort of like pattern of this survival mechanism over time that has allowed us to go, okay, you know what, this is going to put me in my, in danger.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. Even if it's something really, really small.
It is.
But we all know that like living is on the end of our comfort zone, right? It's where that fear zone is where we push ourselves, we grow. But so many of us stop going past that,
Speaking of children, I remember myself, and I remember like my family members who, when we were kids, we are so afraid of being distanced from our parents, specifically from our mom, because that's our comfort zone, that's our safe zone. And then when you say that your child is very reckless and he's ready to go for new things, I think that's a good sign, because he had that basic safety, security.
Yes, exactly.
When you have that, then you feel like I am protected.
Yeah, like no matter what, someone's there for me.
It's like he knows Mama's gonna catch him. That's the thing, you know what I mean? So he knows that, which is lovely, which is what which is nice that you said that, because it's so I'm instilling the confidence in him for him to not have the fear.
Yeah.
And I feel, I don't know what do you think, guys? Is that the older that we get, the less confident we are, and so therefore the more fearful we are. Do you think it's related?
It is. Yeah, it is. It has so much to do with security and insecurity.
Yeah.
And because when we are a child, we feel like this is me and this should be me. But the more we, as Sarah mentioned, from the environment, from the society, we learn about should statements, we learn about, this is good, this is bad. Then we start comparing ourselves to others. Then we start developing those kind of self-doubts.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we create more fears. But I guess the fears that we have as adults, it's more subjective, but kids have more tangible fears.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like fear of animals.
Yes.
Something they see. But for adults, we have a lot of scenarios that we have in our head, even if it's not very visible, it's very objective to be tangible for us.
You mentioned the should statements, and I think that is a big point to talk about, because we're constantly having these I should be this.
Yes.
I should be a good person.
I should
and then
do
when I'm not
this.
a good person, then therefore I'm a bad person. I should be the smartest person. I think it's, again, projection.
I shouldn't have fear.
I shouldn't have fear.
Right? But then the more we say I shouldn't have it, the more we get it.
That's another fear of having fears.
Yeah. Well, let's go on a short break.
I think we have a call.
We have a call.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Isa.
Hi,
Hi,
Isa.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in fear.
You don't believe? Okay.
Okay.
Why?
Well, because I think life is a challenge. So we need to face it.
Yes.
I like that.
So basically, face your fears. Are you saying, Isa? Or are you saying you have absolutely no fears at all?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, because earlier you said that you don't have any fears. So I was just wondering if you have absolutely no fears, or is it just that you take your fear by the reins and you just sort of go for it?
I don't have fear on that.
Okay, wow.
Have you been always like this, Isa?
Since you were a child, have you always been this fearless, I'd call it?
Yeah.
I scared before, but I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I think I don't believe in that on this age. I don't know.
Okay.
When you was young, it's something different.
Yeah. I guess also the older you get, maybe you go through different experiences in your life, and then at some point you learn that maybe there isn't much to fear about. But I do believe...
That's right.
I do agree and to disagree with you, though. Like, I feel like we all have some forms of fear, even though I think sometimes we just don't show it.
Yeah. Or maybe we sometimes don't even realize it.
Or we don't realize
You
it.
know? But because it's been pushed down, or because we've avoided it for so long, but I feel like, yeah, you're right, Sarah. We all have some fear.
Yeah.
Some.
And I think, it's healthy to have some form of fear. It's not healthy to have, excessive fear where it leads to anxiety and depression and holds you back.
Isa, can you remember any fears that you had before but you could overcome them?
Well, I don't remember.
What about as a child? Because you said that as a child that you had some
Well,
fears.
all the kids, they have some fears or a lot of things, So I really don't remember.
Okay.
But I feel when you grow up, things become different.
Yeah, true.
Interesting. That's an opinion. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much
Thank
for
you so
sharing.
much, Isa. Yeah.
Thank you,
so
Isa.
much.
Thank you, Isa. Have a good evening. Interesting.
Interesting. I like how we have, you hear different people's perspective on things.
Of course, it's great.
And
That's true. It has so much to do with your attitude.
Yeah.
Because when you feel like world is a scary place any small things, any small triggers can make you feel crippled. But when you say, like Isa said, I don't believe in fears, then you go over things.
Yeah.
You know?
I
felt good
I
about
do
it.
love that. I do love
Like,
that.
I don't have fears.
I don't have fears.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of that, please.
I think we all need a little sprinkle of that right now.
Yeah, so we will go on a short break and we will get back to talking about fears. And of course, if you guys have something to share with us, tell us about maybe a fear that you went through and overcame. Or if you have any questions for us, please call us at 24949493. I will say that again. 24949493. I am good at this. I kind of like memorize this
Coming off
already.
your tongue right now, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's rolling off your
Good
tongue.
job.
So this is the Unsaid, and we will be back.
This is Oman FM.
And we are back. This is the Unsaid on Oman FM, and we are live. So we were talking about fear, what it is, and how it works and how it affects us from reaching our true desires and
holding us
back.
Yeah.
Apparently we have a call.
We do.
Let's take that
Yes.
call and then we will continue.
Who's on the line?
Hello.
All right, we will continue then. Whoever called us, please call us
Again.
back.
Don't give it up.
Don't be scared. We're here. Call us back.
So, let's share our experiences on fears. Can you guys tell me maybe an example or maybe something that you went through that maybe was scary in the beginning and then you overcame?
I can tell you a fear that's still very present in my life, which I'm working on a daily basis. And me even being here is part of my fear.
Okay.
I can agree with you.
Right?
Same.
I mean, I'm afraid of public speaking. That's one of my biggest fears, which I'm working on in many different ways to try and overcome it. And so for putting myself out there, going on, doing our lives on Thursday, going here live, going on stage as much as I can.
It's challenging.
It's challenging and it's scary. And I push myself to go through it because I want to get better at it. I'm not good at it, but I'm trying. You
are good at it.
Well, thank you.
But that's interesting, Hayesha. You mean that it's still scary for you?
Yeah. I'm scared right now. My stomach's going, but I'm learning to control it. I'm learning to actually welcome the fear, because I feel like a lot of us, when we experience fear, we want to push it away,
Suppress it.
we want to suppress it, we want to avoid it, we want to distract ourselves from it. But the more it's there as a survival mechanism, it's there to protect us. So when I acknowledge it, when I welcome it, I feel better about it. I don't feel like it's a distant part of me. I feel like it's a part that wants to be integrated in me. And so by me acknowledging it, welcoming it, talking to it, and going, okay, you know what, I'm here, it's okay. Let's do this together. I feel a bit more, centered. So it is in some way just constantly trying to just evolve and push through my fears.
And are you enjoying? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
And are you enjoying it?
I'm
as
loving
well?
it. I'm enjoying it.
This
yeah.
is interesting.
And the more I do it, the more I enjoy it.
That's so important to remind ourselves that we can be scared of something and enjoy
still go
it
for
at
it.
the same
And
time.
still go for it.
Yeah.
And I can totally relate to what you're saying, because I've always had a fear of public speaking, and I felt like I don't want to admit it though. Like you're saying it, and I was like, I don't want to admit that I am scared of public speaking, because I feel like when I admit it, it's real. It's real, and it's now everybody knows that I'm scared of public speaking. But
look at you. You see, you're there hosting the show. I mean,
I am.
Right?
Because sometimes when
you know what I mean? So it's like it's so crazy that our rational brain is like, no, you're scared of it, but actually our soul, our spirit wants us to do better. So in essence, it's really our brain that stops us from moving forward, isn't it?
And when you say it loudly, it's like you are accepting it as part of you,
welcoming it,
you make
acknowledging it. Yes, exactly.
I agree.
My fear is fear of height, and it's still there. I had it since I was a kid, and I'm just so trying to solve it. But even I was asking Tam to help me, because I love hiking, and we have hike therapy is something very interesting. I love that. But because of the fear of height, it stops me from enjoying hiking.
And was that something that you experienced as a child that made you scared of heights? Or
I think it's part of it is genetic, because my dad has the same thing, or maybe because I've
you
heard
learned from him.
Exactly, because I've always heard from my dad, I'm scared of height.
There
Don't go there. Be careful.
Be careful.
It's a learned fear.
Yeah.
It can be unlearned.
Maybe. I go for hiking, and I remember even last time that I challenged my fear, I was crying.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Malaysia, I think a while back, I was challenging myself to go on a roller coaster, because I hate roller coasters. Like, people go on roller coasters and they're having a blast.
That's me. That's me. I love roller coasters.
I just can't get myself to do it. And I remember that year I promised myself, I said, I am going to overcome this fear no matter what. I went on the most scariest roller coaster, and girl, let me tell you, that it did not go well. It did not go well.
But hold on, here's the question. Did they make you even more scared of them, or are you prepared to go back on a roller coaster?
I think what I've learned is that I am just scared of it. And that is, it's okay. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't have to like roller coasters.
No,
I tried. You can force me if you want. I will still not go on it.
Okay.
You can pay me $1 million. I will still not go on it.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I will not go on it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe for $1 million, huh?
Think about it. Think about it.
But yeah, I think it's about acceptance. Sometimes I think it's okay. Like if you tried so many times
Yeah.
and it is just,
just
not
not for you.
working for you, like maybe your spirit is just not, it's not for your
It's not
spirit.
for your spirit.
But that's
Absolutely.
good that
I
you
agree.
tried.
Yes.
You know, this is something I remind myself that, you know, it's time to time try it. Maybe this time is easier. Or if, as you said, maybe it's not a right time for you to fix it or to overcome it. You're not maybe prepared for that.
Exactly.
But I don't give it up. I will give it another chance. As
True.
long as I'm trying it, I feel like it's okay.
But what do you guys think though, if you keep on trying something and it, you know, for example, with the roller coaster, it hasn't gotten to the point where I want to do more public speaking. It's gotten to the point where you don't want to do any more roller coasters.
Yeah, it's just,
So it comes to a point then, it's like, okay, do we still push to go past that fear? Or do we realize, no, Hanas, you know what, it's not for me and I accept that and it's okay. Because also as well, I feel, sorry to interrupt, but if we keep on pushing ourselves, it can come to a point where you just don't want to do it at all.
No, because I don't want to miss the other thing that I like hiking with a group.
Yes.
So I would tell myself, you know, this time I want to go. I know it's going to be difficult for me, but you know, I'll go for that.
I think for me, I think it depends. I would say, like, if you're trying because you want to overcome it, like with public speaking, you know, it's something that's going to benefit you.
Yes.
It's something, you know, you can see yourself growing and maybe in this field.
Yeah.
You would want to keep going.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing that you knocked on the head there, for
Yeah,
sure.
and if it's
the
something
fact that I want, that the outcome is what I want, then I'm going to push myself through the journey of it.
Yeah.
Same thing with you. You want to hike.
Yeah.
So you're prepared to do the journey of the fear to get there.
And there are some particular fears that are more physiological and they are more difficult, you know, to overcome. Like fear of height. There are some symptoms, bodily symptoms that I get them, and at that moment I cannot, you know, go further.
Yeah.
I need to stop. I need to reconnect with my body. I need to calm down myself and then continue. Or the roller coaster.
Yeah.
So that's interesting you said about calming down. What do you do to calm down your fears?
Like in the moment, I just stop. I do some deep breathing, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
I do some mindful techniques. For example, I could just close my eyes. I don't look at the height, which is the scariest part. Yeah. And I visualize something positive, that I'm down, everything is fine, and I'm having a orange juice and I'm enjoying my orange juice. That helps.
That's a great technique. Great technique for our listeners to hear that.
I think also like affirmations.
Yes.
Especially with
affirmations are
height,
good.
it's like I am protected, I am safe, I
Yeah.
am here,
Yeah.
I am guarded, my feet
Not
is
gonna
on the
fall,
ground,
Yeah.
I'm away from the edge. I think sometimes just having those positive affirmations, you don't even have to call them positive affirmations, just affirmations.
Yeah.
It's very calming. It is.
Yeah.
What did you do on the roller coaster when you were so scared?
So I was with my dad and I was holding his arm, I was holding his leg with my leg and he was just in pain. And I was in pain too, but like mentally and emotionally. So I think when I was walking towards the roller coaster, I was just saying, you know what, I can do it. I sat there and I could feel the anxiety. Like I just wanted to get out, but it was too late. They closed the belt and everything. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm here, and I just wanted it to end. I just wanted it to end.
Okay.
I just kept screaming, please
stop.
stop.
I do
And then it went
relate.
round for a second time or not?
3 times. Oh no! Yeah.
Wrong choice.
Wonderful. We have a call.
We do have a call.
Oh, nice.
Hello.
Hello.
Who's on the line?
My name's Layla.
Layla.
Hi, Layla.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So tell us, do you have any fears you'd like to share with us?
I'm pretty much afraid of everything.
Everything.
So we had
But-
Issa who's afraid of nothing, and then we have Layla who's afraid of everything. Wonderful. We have the full spectrum here.
Yeah.
Would you like
I
to?
have
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a fear of like public speaking as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also more afraid of like what people would think or how they'll see me.
And that's the thing, Layla. You know, public
Yeah.
speaking is the fear of being seen. We don't want people to judge us. We don't want people to critique us. That is, in essence, the fear of why we don't want to
Fear
put
of
ourselves out
judgment.
there, the fear of judgment. So, and honestly, Layla, public speaking is one of the top fears in the world. It's actually higher than dying. Isn't that
A
so
lot of
interesting?
people relate to that.
Yeah, they're actually more afraid of public speaking than dying. It's so crazy. So
Yeah.
know that you're not alone, Layla.
What have you currently or recently did any public speaking?
No, but I'm going to next week.
Oh,
Well,
best
good
of
luck.
And you're doing
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah, and you're doing exactly. You're live on the
Yeah.
air now.
Just the idea of it like scares me. Like it gets me nervous, like real nervous. Just thinking of it.
I know.
feel you.
I
Yeah,
totally
I
feel
feel
you.
you.
I was so nervous coming live here, speaking,
Yeah,
and just know that you can do it.
yeah,
You can do it,
yeah.
and
I
that
was
And the
nervous
more you
getting
do
on
it, the
call.
better you'll become at it. Sorry, did you say something? But
So I guess that I was nervous getting on call.
well, I'm proud of you.
yes, me too.
So
Great
proud
job.
of
Very
you.
proud of you that you're here with us.
Great job. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing your
Thank you.
experience.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
You too.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Fear
Yeah.
of judgment.
Yes.
Sometimes something happens for us and then we continue the story in our head. And then we would say, they're going to think about me like that. They're not going to like me. I'm not good enough. I could have done this. I should have done this. And this
Again,
is
the
how.
should have, could have.
Then we make that a story. We make it more, scary for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the fear of speaking comes from an experience.
Yes.
Like I remember I had an experience where I had to talk in assembly, and I think I made a mistake, and my principal stopped me in front of everyone. Said, "Wait, you made a mistake," and then that is when that was the
probably root
emotional
cause.
wound.
Yes.
I'd caused an
There we
emotional
go.
wound
That's where the-
in my system. Every time I talk, I feel like I'm
remember
gonna make a
that.
mistake. I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm gonna mess up. And I guess sometimes it's an experience. Something happened. Someone laughed.
Yeah.
And that's why the more you put yourself in that situation, you can correct your experience because you're re-experiencing and then you stop generalizing that one negative experience. Isn't it like that for,
It
you,
is.
for you, Sarah?
It is. It
You
changed.
might make another mistake and no one,
Won't
put you
even
in
notice,
that.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, even they say it's fine, you made
Yeah.
a mistake. You can correct it.
So it's a bit like more our own inner critic, isn't it? That is judging us more than others. So we are actually judging us more than than others are judging us. Because I don't think people really judge us that much.
Because they are busy with their
They're
own
busy
self-judgment.
with their own self-judgment.
That
They're
is so
busy with their
true.
own lives. They're not busy with anyone else's lives. But we feel like, oh God, I can't do that because she's going to judge me, and I can't say this because
Yeah.
he's going to think that.
That's
so I
the
won't say
thing.
anything.
That's the thing.
But that's just my own insecurity talking myself out of it.
We're our worst critiques.
We certainly are.
Like we forget about it that much that we're living in our head, it's the same for others. If you're
Yes.
dealing with our anxiety, our fears, our insecurities, it's the same for others. We are not on the spot and everyone is focusing on us to catch us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if you guys had an inner cheerleader, we have an inner critic that is quite mean.
Mean.
I know mine is mean. Like,
Mine's a mean girl. She sure is.
what would you call your inner cheerleader?
Like an actual name?
Yeah,
or
like an action name.
I would call her Sahara.
I like it.
I just came up with it.
Sahara.
Sahara.
You know what? Let's go on a break and let's think about
Let's
it.
have a think. Okay.
Think, and we'll come back.
Yeah.
If you guys have a name for your inner cheerleader,
Yes.
please
give
call
a
us.
call.
Give us a call.
Yeah. We'd love to know.
Call us on 24949493. I'll say it again, 24949493. And we'll see you shortly.
This is Oman FM.
And we are back, and this is the Unsaid on Oman FM. And we were just talking about fears, what is fears, and how to overcome it. And we were recently just talking about coming up with our inner cheerleader.
Yes.
Did you guys come up with one? Wait, we got a call.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, we did not get a call. False alarm. So what did you guys come up with?
So
I already shared.
yes.
Sahara.
Sahara is Sahara. Hayesha is, so my inner cheerleader is Happy Hannah.
Nice. I like that. It is
Happy Hannah.
Happy Hannah.
I think mine's gonna be Sierra.
Yay.
Sierra. Okay.
Nice.
Well, if you guys do come up with your inner cheerleader, make sure that inner cheerleader is there for rooting for you, especially when you're anxious, when you're drowning in fear.
Yeah. Connect with her more.
Connect with her, connect with him.
Yeah, him or her. Absolutely.
And listen to all the voices you hear in your head, not only one of them.
Exactly.
I just remember the animation Inside Out. Have you watched that?
I love it.
I love it. I have watched it.
I haven't
twice.
watched it.
Oh, it's such a nice
Go for
one.
it. It's so
Very
nice.
nice.
It shows how, at the same time, our different feelings and emotions are
all
cooperating,
valid. Exactly.
battling each other, having conflicts, happiness, fear, sadness, anger, and they all coexist at the same time. So I feel like it's really important to listen to all those voices, because we need all of them. They're all there for a reason.
They're all there serving
Certainly
us.
are. Yeah.
It's what we're focusing on. Sometimes we're focusing on one voice, and that voice becomes so loud.
Yeah.
We have a caller.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Hi, how are you?
Who's on the line? What's your name, please?
My name is Najwa.
Hi, Najwa.
Hi. Very nice topic. I did not join from the beginning, but as soon as I heard the topic in the conversation, I could relate, and I would imagine that everybody could relate except the caller that called and said he had no
The first
fear.
caller, yeah. Isa, if you're out there, we need to learn from you, because we all need to have less fear in our life.
Absolutely. And while you're speaking, I was thinking that, fear it's normal to be, afraid. There is like the normal fear, and then there is fear that really is maybe pathological, or is the fear that really interrupts a normal
functionality.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you are afraid of, not to undermine any kind of fear, but to say that I'm afraid of, for example, I'm afraid of heights, for example, maybe there is a way for me to overcome that, through different kind of, methodologies. But if I'm super afraid of the future, and it's causing anxiety, I'm afraid of death, there are like medical kind of situations where people are really afraid to sleep. They can't fall asleep.
Leave.
They're afraid of death. And I think, so these are like two different kind of fears, and they also lead to different kind of results.
Yes.
Because if you have a normal fear, it could cause some anxiety. But if you have pathological kind of fear, it could also lead to, anxiety. So, anxiety that's really also like a medical case, or
Like
even
depression.
Exactly.
Depression, exactly.
It becomes like a disorder.
And we see that, and I also feel both of the fears can be related somehow. So if you're very afraid of, for example, you have social anxiety, and you get too scared of being around people, and you cannot really deal with it, even if you try to, and you don't seek any kind of medical support or counseling, it could actually interrupt your life, because you can't really
100%.
It can be crippling, definitely.
You can't go to your job, and so it's a very important topic, and I think really understanding what you're going through is key, because if you understand that I'm scared of heights. Like a lot of people go, oh, we all scream on roller coasters, by the way. I don't know who talks about roller coasters.
But we go.
My kids like, Mom, I'm like, I'm going up there. I'm going to do this. I'm up there. They're like, second thought, no, I will not do this. So it could be, it could be something we're all going through, but how we, I think the way you understand it and how you deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you just leave it, it does become difficult, more and more
an
difficult.
obstacle in your life. But that's so right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing, Najwa.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a lovely
great
evening.
Bye.
That was a very good point.
That was, and I think what she was trying to describe as well is phobias. Like we all have fears, right?
Yeah.
But then there's phobias.
Are like the extreme.
Which are the disorders that stops your functionality.
Yeah.
You cannot enjoy your daily routine.
Yeah.
And of course,
And you actually go out of
you
your
need to
way.
seek the professional help for that.
Yeah.
If it's existing for a long term, this is one of the criterias. It's more than 6 months that you feel like every day you are fixated on that fear, and that's stopping you from doing your normal responsibilities, then it could be a phobia. And the relationship between anxiety and fear, that's interesting to talk about briefly.
Yeah.
So I think fear is something tangible. It's something that you can see and sometimes
feel.
It's short term.
Yeah.
When you are there in the situation, you are afraid, scared of that tangible thing, and when it's gone, it's gone.
خلاص, you're fine.
But anxiety is the feeling, the uncertainty that you have for unknown, and it might be longer. You'll go to sleep, and she gave us some good examples. The anxiety that you have for death, the anxiety for future, it's not very tangible. It's not very, objective, and those are very difficult to deal with. And they are different, but sometimes they go hand in hand. Your fear could turn to anxiety and make it more complicated.
And how I like to see anxiety is the fear of the future.
Exactly.
Fear of the unknown, fear of not knowing what's happening next. That's where we get all the what ifs. What if I fail? What if I fall? What if I don't make it?
But isn't it also related to some sort of experience that we have had in the past as well?
Yes, I believe that it's somewhat related to an experience.
Exactly.
Something must have happened for you to feel this fear. It's like this, your body's protecting you from something because you once felt some form of maybe discomfort in your body.
And you don't want to feel it again.
You don't want to feel it again. And that's where
it's stopping you from moving forward. Yeah.
And also the self-expectations that you have of yourself. So speaking of fear of public speech, if you have this expectation of yourself that everyone should like me, then of course it's more scary for you to go live, because of course there are people that maybe they don't like you.
They just won't like me.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I'm sad
Not you. Me. But I mean, it's not possible to satisfy everyone.
Exactly.
So if we can manage our expectations to come up with more realistic expectations, which are according to our capabilities. I know my capabilities are limited right now in the current situation, so my expectations should be aligned with my capabilities.
That is one way of like overcoming fear, or at least working towards your fear. Because I wouldn't say you would overcome it completely. It goes
work in progress.
It's a work in progress,
and it might come back.
It might come back, or it's about having that awareness. I think it's important that you're aware of your fears, or what if it's a fear or a phobia, if it's affecting your life, and what can I do about it? Because if we're not doing anything about it, then it's still gonna be there.
It will not go away. That's the thing about fears and phobias. We think that potentially by ignoring it, by distracting ourselves from it, it will go away, but it won't.
Yeah,
it won't. It'll just always pop up some way, shape, or form, right?
That's why they say, like, when you have the fear in the moment, or even when you're so anxious about something, don't spend so much energy just to be okay quickly.
Yes.
First, try to connect with your feeling, connect with your body, and just face what you're going through. Sit with your feeling, and then afterwards, step by step, you can, get back on track.
And something we tend to do, especially when we're anxious or even in total fear, we're focusing on the neck up, on our thoughts, not focusing on our bodies.
Yeah.
Because that's where
shortness of breath.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And we get all this sort of like anxiety inside of us.
Because fear has so much to do with the bodily symptoms.
Absolutely.
Shortness of breath, feeling your heart beating really fast.
Yeah, your palms sweating, shaking,
dizziness, stuttering.
Yep, there's so many different symptoms.
You're defining me right now.
You know, I had this fear that what if I go for the presentation or a public speech and then I forget about what I'm saying or I stutter. And then I told myself that, Sahar, accept this. In the beginning, you're going to be anxious.
Like that,
maybe you forget something and it's fine. But later you'll figure it out and you're going to be okay. And it helped me so much.
I love that. Something that I tend to do is when I'm going for public speaking, I do admit that I'm nervous. You're like, hey, I'm actually quite nervous right now, so just bear with me. And sometimes admitting that and letting people know that like, okay, I'm a bit nervous, kind of.
And that also makes you more approachable as well.
Yeah.
Because everyone feels sort of talking in public in some way, shape or form, whether it's on an extreme level or a low level. So when you admit that, they're like, oh, okay, look at her. She's doing an amazing job, but she's still nervous. I can relate to that. And so that's also good to, for yourself and for others as well. So that's...
I guess also another reminder is that everybody is focused on themselves. Sometimes we're so focused on other people focusing on us, but actually everyone is just minding and they have their own worries that they're worrying about. And so that's just a reminder.
And they're not going to be surprised if they notice I'm anxious, because everyone could be anxious, everyone could be scared. It's not something that I have it specifically. I'm not alone in that.
So we have our last few minutes.
We do. Wow, that went by very quickly, guys.
It did. And if you guys have anything you'd like to share, maybe some tips for anybody, like a last tip.
I would say don't try to just kick that feeling out. Sit with it, embrace your feeling, be kind to yourself when you're scared of something. And there is a very nice technique that you can have a dialogue, a conversation with your fear. Take a paper and pen and start writing, hello fear, how are you? I'm here. I want to talk to you. What made you scared? What is threatening you? Having that conversation can help you to understand your fear, to hear that fear.
Befriend the fear.
Befriend the fear. I love that.
Befriend the fear, guys.
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
It's great. Hashtag befriend the fear. Love it.
What about you, Hayesha? Any last...
So last things, definitely, sometimes when I get a bit anxious or when I get a bit scared, I do try and take a deep breath. But sometimes it gets stuck, and although we know that connecting to our body, connecting to our breath will allow us to be more centered and grounded, sometimes with that with that stuckness in my body, shaking helps me, because the whole movement of the body to release the fear comes out, or even like doing like an noise, where you connect to your solar plexus, or a mantra that really sort of calms down your nervous system. And then I can take the deep breath. But so that's a little tip that I'd like to give people as well.
Beautiful. So I hope you guys that are listening got those tips, wrote them down, keep them on your phone. Drive safely though.
Yes.
But we are hoping to see you guys next time.
Yeah.
And we're going to finish.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. And before we go, we'd love to say one more thing.
Change begins with you.
Have a lovely evening. Take care. Drive safe.
Bye.